I've always been passionate about wellness, and I think that we're a country that needs a bit of help. So when I kind of look at the statistics and go, you know, at the moment, just under 50% of all cancer patients are diagnosed at stage 2 or 3. So it tells me that, one, we're not necessarily very good at spotting the signs early. And I think that, for me, I think it's both sides. I think that a lot of us everyday people, we don't really know how really sick we are or how sick we're not until symptoms really show. And I think from the doctor's perspective, the more information we can feed them is the better output you get from a doctor. And so for me, I go, what I've got now is I've been working with a company that creates really amazing technology, and I've got this device and it's a health scanner, and the way that it works is it sends a little electrical impulse through your hand. You can't feel it at all. And what it's measuring is it's measuring the resistance of your cells. So going back to the presentation, coincidentally enough, we was talking about how your molecules have electrons around them and they're positively charged, and when they're damaged or broken, then you would expect that that charge is going to be weaker. So that's what this is testing, all of these different cells in your body, how, in theory, strong or weak are they? And it takes 2 minutes to run the scan, and it brings back over 40 different biometric markers. Now, the idea is that this isn't a diagnostics machine. So, you know, it's not here to say, you know, you've got cancer or you've got diabetes or you've got this. But what it will do is it will flag up all of the areas that things are not looking right in. And it gives everybody an opportunity to address that early doors. Because one of the things that, like I said, going back to why I feel like it's a twofold problem, is because if I go into my doctors and I say, right, doctor, I've got this problem. Just say for argument's sake, I go into my doctor and I say, right, doctor, I've got piles, right? I can't really give no more information. I don't really know what's wrong. I just know I've got this problem. So the doctor probably will give me some pile drugs or whatever. I go home, I take them, I feel better in a week or whatever, but it's not really fixed the root cause. And so if I can then give you a document that is really personalised to you, and you can go into your doctors and you can say, right, doctor, look, you know, I've got this issue. And then in theory, your doctor can put your whole body up on the wall and go, look, well, look at your vitamins. Look at vitamin B3 and B2. And they can go, oh, but your kidney, oh, look at your kidney's in an acidic state too. And oh, these hormones should not be like that. Why? And you've just, because at the minute it's like, you know, you can go and get a blood test and it can come back fine, but you know that you're not fine. Mm-hmm. So again, it's kind of like shooting in the dark, isn't it, until something lands. So if I can provide you with something, not just you, but and your doctor, where you can have an empowering conversation, that's wicked. And the beauty of it as well, that I look at it like this, is I go, you know, taking, for argument's sake, let's say lung cancer, if you catch it at stage 1, you've got a 95% chance of living. So I look at that and I go, you know, if I had to go do a test and I got 95% on my test, I'd be happy with that. But then you go at stage 4, it's 25%. So there's a massive difference in, you know, the chances that you've got of surviving if you're catching things at an early stage. You've got your different things here, so you've got blood viscosity, for example. So I'm not a doctor, but I do know that, for example, blood viscosity is talking about the thickness of your blood, because it has to be at the right thickness for hemorrhaging and scabbing and things like this. So if it's too thick, it's a problem, and if it's too, it's a problem. So, you know, this is giving you that information, and the beauty of it is that you go, even if you're, let's say, someone who feels a bit daunted by all this medical terminology, this is the point that you can print that off and take it to your doctor. Like, that's your doctor's job. Your doctor is not supposed to be bamboozled by all of these medical terms. It's what we went to university for 10 years or whatever to learn about. So they're supposed to be able to read this report and then speak to you as they normally would do and let you know what it means for you. You see, and the beauty of it is this has your normal levels here. So for example, I don't know if you can see these, but you've got green in the middle to say this is where your normal range is, and then you've got blue on both sides, yellow on both sides, and reds on both sides. So it's just basically saying that if you're below the marker, that you would be that side, and if you're above the marker, then you'd be that side. You know, so you could have, you know, for example, too much calcium in your bones, or you could have too little calcium in your bones, and it's just showing you where you sit on that radar. And again, you know, you've got all the information there underneath as well. And this is all the information, and I just look at it and I go, for me, this is a game changer about how you can take control of your health. You know, everybody wants it. Everybody wants to wear wearables, and everybody wants to know how many steps they're doing. You know, everybody wants to be in the gym, everybody wants to be vegan, and everybody wants to be this, but this is the best opportunity alive right now for you to know what's going on in your body. And you can't go to your doctors and do this. They're going to say, oh, what's wrong, and do this blood test and do this test and see what comes back, and you know, it's hard to get into a specialist and stuff, you know. And just to give you an example, I mean, I scanned a woman about 2-3 weeks ago, and she said that she went through early menopause. She went through menopause at 30. And so she said that trying to tell her doctors that something wasn't right, she said it was incredibly hard. She said, everybody told me I was wrong for years. You can't be going through early menopause because it's 30, you're only 30, and this and that. And she says, when she did the scan, she was like, you know, if I would have had this information, I would have got straight to the specialist straight away, because they would have seen it. And as a doctor that knows what they're looking at, but at the minute, all a doctor has to go off is our word. You know, and are we always truthful? You know, do we tell them about the niggles we've had for the 10 years that we've just lived with because it's just part of our life? This is an opportunity for you to really get a grip on what's going on with you. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? And anyone can put their hand on it, you know, whether you're 5, whether you're 10. You know, like I said, the only people that are recommended to not put their hand on it is, one, if you're pregnant, nothing to do with a health concern. It's because if the report comes back to say, for argument's sake, that you're low in iron, we don't know if that's supposed to be happening. So that could just be the natural chemical, you know, reaction that's going on because you've got a baby inside of you. And also, we don't recommend it if you've had an operation and you've got metal inside of you, again, because it's sending out a little electrical impulse. The metal can bring back necessarily a reading that may not be accurate. So again, it's got nothing to do with health concerns, it's just to do with, you know, how accurate that information is, when the whole idea is that you're going to try and take this information and then do something with it, you know.